7 years ago, I was at absolute crisis point. I was the sickest and the heaviest I'd ever been in my entire life. I was so overweight. Every joint in my body hurt. I found it difficult to walk, difficult to get out of a chair, difficult to get in bed, difficult to get up the stairs, difficult to stand in the kitchen and cook, difficult to have a bath. Everything about my life was difficult because I was at crisis point. I had been diagnosed with SLE lupus, which affects my heart and my lungs, osteoarthritis, fibromyalgia, bursitis, type 2 diabetes, the chronic fatigue. I was an absolute mess. I was also a single parent of a young child, and I knew that if I didn't do something and quick about my health, it would be over. And just the thought of that was enough to put me in a position where I had no alternative but to do something about my health. And to date, it's taken 7 years. It'll be 7 years in January that I restarted my journey. I have lost over 12.5 stone. That is 177 pounds. But I had to, it came from a deep place. It wasn't frivolous. It wasn't, oh, I think I want to lose 12 stone. No, it was life or death for me, literally. And I had when my lupus affected my heart, my consultant said if I hadn't have gone in to see them when I did, within another couple of weeks, I would have had a massive heart attack. I would have been a goner. And the thought of leaving my young son on his own, I was like, that just cannot happen. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to let it happen. So that became my why on my journey. I needed to do it for me, to do it for myself, to lose weight and get fit and get healthy for me, and also so I could be present, I could be around for my son. I wanted to see him grow up. I wanted to see him have a family. I want to see my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren. And I'm really blessed to stand here today and say 12.5 stone later, yes, I still have health issues and some of those will not go away, but I'm managing them. But I'm blessed to see my grandchildren. So guys, wherever you are on your journey, just know that if your why is strong enough, it's going to get you there. And when my why was, bearing in mind, it wasn't half a stone that I needed to lose. This was a life-changing amount of weight, 12 stone. That's a whole person. So my why couldn't be, oh, I need to get into the dress for the summer, or I need to wear the outfit for the wedding, or I couldn't get, into the bikini for the beach. Those things were not even on my radar because I had so much weight. My why was so serious. It was literally life or death for me. But when I started my journey, there was a couple of things that initially held me back. And first of all, it was this mindset that I had to be perfect. It was, I've got to do this perfectly, or what's the point in doing it? And when I started thinking like that, all it did was cause me to fail, because I was setting an expectation for myself that nobody else was expecting. only me. When I turned up to my class to get weighed, nobody cared whether I was perfect that week or not. You know, all that the coach saw on the scale was a number. She didn't know what had gone on for me. That was down to me, and nobody knew that other than me. So I had to stop lying to myself. And you know, I've told you millions of times, I'm not a tracker, and therefore using apps and papers and documents to track for me didn't work. But I thought I had to be perfect. So what I started doing was I'd be leaving it all week, not tracking, and then at the end of the week, just trying to balance the books and just put in any old thing. I was lying to myself. And I realised, actually, who is it that you're doing this for? Because nobody's seeing my app, nobody's seeing what I'm tracking. So I had to stop that perfection mindset, because I realised that perfection, nobody's perfect. And if we strive for perfection, I'm going to set myself up to fail. And fail I did whenever I did that. So I had to just ditch that and think, okay, instead of going for perfection, let me go for consistency. But before I did that, one, I had to commit. And I committed to myself. I committed on the 8th of January 2019. I committed to my health and wellness and to improve that. And it didn't matter how long it took me. Yeah, I wasn't after 12 stones in 2 years. That was never the goal. It was just, it'll take as long as it takes to lose the weight and to keep it off. So I committed to me. And then in committing, I also committed to building that healthy mindset where perfection was no longer a matter, an issue for me. And I realised that if it's not an issue, don't make it an issue. And when I realised that actually I'm going for perfection, I'm trying to use these tools that don't work for me, why am I making it an issue, trying to fit, you know, that proverbial square peg in a round hole? I was like, no, I'll just get rid of those and go back to what actually works for me. And when I started doing that, so I committed to myself, I then decided to work on my mindset every single day. And, you know, when I work on my mindset, it could be just going for a walk, going, you know, looking at nature, getting out in the garden. It could be watching a program that makes me laugh and makes me feel good, listening to a podcast where I'm learning something. It could be just playing with my grandkids or being around my cats. It's just anything that's going to put me and keep me in that positive mindset. Because I realise that when I'm feeling positive, when I'm feeling good, I can achieve anything. I really can. And then, third step was to be consistent. So when I stitched that perfection mindset, I realised, one, I don't have to be perfect because life isn't perfect. Life does have those ups and downs. But I also had to realise what consistency meant. Consistency isn't just doing that. It's not that straight line. I always thought it was, but consistency isn't that straight line. Consistency looks like this. It's up and down. Some days you might, you know, some weeks you'll do your exercises. Every week you go back for that walk. You know, you'll make those good choices. And then other days you may not make the best choice. You may not go out to work. But that's okay. That's absolutely okay. I had to give myself permission on those days to say, actually, Angela, you know, you're not feeling so great. It's okay. It's okay to only do 5 minutes. It's okay. Instead of going for that walk, it's okay just to go out in the garden and pull a few weeds. Yeah? Or it's okay, actually, if you really don't feel like it, to sit at home, keep warm and do all of that self-care. It's okay. It's all right. So that's consistency. You're going to get that up and down, but you keep going. That's the key. That's the key. When we're not consistent, it means we stop. We just stop. And we're not in that mindset where we do it as much as we can. It's like, oh, just forget it. Not doing this, or I'm changing my program, or I'm doing something else. That's not being consistent. But consistency is, it's like when you're playing a game with a ball, and you might be throwing the ball up like you're juggling, you're throwing that ball up and you're catching the ball, but then you drop one. If you walk away, the game's over. But if you're throwing them up and you drop one and then you just pick it up and you carry on, that's okay. You're still being consistent. So I had to redefine for myself what consistency is and what it meant for me. And when I started to do that, it then became easier to stay on my weight loss journey, because I was giving myself permission on the days. And let me tell you, I have some days where I just feel really, really unwell and I couldn't do all the things. And I was like, Angela, today you're going to be consistent by just looking after yourself. You're going to, get in that warm bath. You're going to get your cozy pajamas on. You're going to get under the duvet. You're going to keep nice and warm with that electric blanket, and you're going to rest. That's still being consistent on the weight loss journey, because that's really important. And then when I feel able, I'm like, right, okay, let's get up. Let's, cook the meals and go for the walk and do the garden and, do all the things. Yeah. I had to redefine what consistency meant to me. And I realised it's not that straight line. It's not that straight line, because life just isn't that straight line. So I started to do all of those things, and I realised that in this life I could find problems and issues where there was none. And that was also another thing that I had to work on. If it's not an issue, it's not an issue. Don't make it an issue. If it's not a problem for me, don't make it a problem for me. So I had to find what truly worked for me. And when I found that, my weight loss has been consistent. And for those of you who follow me, you know that I'm not a daily weigher. I'm not a weekly weigher. I'm not even a monthly weigher. I just weigh as and when the sun shines here in the UK. And yes, for full disclaimer, I lost 9 stone by myself. Just, healthy habits, portion control, and mindful eating has been my saviours. It's what's really helped me. And the last 3 stones I've lost using Manjaro, because I'm type 2 diabetic and we needed to get my diabetes under control. So 12 and a half stone in total. But so once I started letting go of all the things that I allowed to be an issue, such as the tracking, once I let go of that, I could free my mind and started using portion control and eating slowly, eating mindfully. When I started doing that, I just found that weight loss and losing weight became easier. And the other thing that I did, guys, is I let go. I let go of the numbers on the scale. Let go of them. And when I did, I put my scales away for 9 weeks. Didn't weigh myself once for 9 weeks. And when I pulled the scales out and got on, I'd lost 16 pounds. And that was because my mind was no longer tied up with all those micro things, not getting caught up in all the little things that were distracting me from the bigger goal, which was just move my body, eat healthily, keep that positive mindset. And when I started doing that, I started to see consistent weight loss, and that weight came off. And sometimes it would come off in big chunks, because remember, don't weigh myself often. Sorry, my cat's on the table and he's wobbling the camera. Sometimes, if I weighed myself, once every 6 weeks, I might see a big 4 pound loss. And other times I'd only see a pound or half a pound. I say only, it's not only, I would see half a pound or a pound. And now that I'm closer, much closer to my goal weight, even on Manjaro, my body isn't letting go of any more weight. I haven't lost anything significant on Manjaro for the last good 6 months or so. Probably, a couple of pounds, but nothing significant. One, my body has said, girl, you've lost a shed load of weight. You've got rid of half of me. I need a bit of a break. So my body is like, I'm holding on to what I got. So my body is not letting go of anything else. And I might get a pound here or half a pound there or a tiny little bit there, but nothing significant. Plus, I'm much closer to the end goal as well. So, my body is just holding it. So that is on the scale. But in terms of my clothes, I had a pair of jeans on yesterday. I wish I'd have taken the video. Or next time I put them on, I'll do a video for you. But I remember when these jeans were so tight, I couldn't get them past my knees. They wouldn't go up. And I just held on to them for years. I've probably had them for about a good 8-9 years. I couldn't get them past my knees. And then inch by inch, they kept going up. And then I put them away. And at my biggest, I was around at 24, 26. And at my biggest, I couldn't get them past my knees. And I put them away. And then I pulled them out a couple of years later, and they went up and they fitted really nice. Started wearing them, and I've tried them on yesterday, and now they're literally falling off me. I'm like, oh my goodness. I wore them yesterday because I was at home, and I'm just constantly pulling them up, and they're baggy in the bum and baggy in the legs. These are skinny jeans, by the way. These are skinny jeans. And I'm like, so even though the scale isn't showing any that I'm giving up weight, my clothes are. When I was recently on holiday, I was lucky enough to go away on holiday in June, and I bought some brand new costumes, swimming costumes and clothes, and they fit really snug. And then we were away again in October, and now they're so much looser on me. So yeah, might not be seeing it on the scales, but I'm seeing it in my body. Absolutely seeing it in my body. So yeah, guys, different ways to measure the progress, but if there's one thing I really encourage you to do, is ditch the perfection mindset. We're not perfect, and the weight loss journey isn't about perfection. It's about committing to ourselves, staying in that positive mindset as often as we can, because I get it, some days we're not always positive, but as often as we can, and then committing and defining what commitment looks like to you, having your definition of commitment, not somebody else's. So guys, I just wanted to share those thoughts with you. I hope you found them useful. My name is Angela. I should have said this right at the top. My name is Angela. I am a health, wellbeing and weight loss coach, and on this channel we do lots around the weight loss journey, but I also do a lifestyle. I do lifestyle for around shopping hauls, decorating hauls, as you can see, bit of gardening, do holiday reviews, and you know, lots of inspiration and tips for the weight loss journey. I am in my late 50s. Yeah, actually, I'm proud to be in my late 50s. Very, very proud. So I do talk about that a lot. Now, if that's the sort of thing that is of value and interest to you, then I would love to have you here within my community. Please feel free to click that subscribe button and also hit the notification bell. And as I upload another video, you will be notified. Feel free also, guys, to get involved here in the channel. Drop comments. I love to hear from you. Leave a thumbs up as well, and now there's a new hype button. You can hype up the video, so feel free to do that. And we also have our channel membership, guys, where I upload extra content for my channel members, and we do live Zoom sessions. We even organising a Christmas meetup, so if you'd like to come and join us, then come and join the membership. So guys, thank you so much for being here. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care now. Bye.